Hello, people of the internet. Sorry, I'm just a little bit distracted for a second because we didn't go through the usual stuff that happens when we set one of these things up live. And yeah, I'm not quite sure if I did everything. No, I didn't. Aha. I didn't get the usual menus that I normally get. So hang on, bear with me a second while I try and make sure it's all set correctly. Yeah, I think we're good. Fine. Cool. Well, hello, and welcome to the It's Almost Christmas Furious Driving live chat malarkey. We've got Steve's Machines. Hello, Steve. Got Rick. Hello, Rick. Willie Bob. As it's nearly Christmas, that's some Brickledick Nissan Leaf Edition, which I probably shouldn't drink because it's probably worth far too much money. Hello, Brummer. Hello, Dave. Can you all hear me okay? That's the first question. Can everyone hear me? Hello from Poland. I assume it's Poland. We're in landscape. Yes, I found the button for landscape now. No, I'm staying here. It's too cold to go outside. Oh no. Right, family. So a car written off for having a front bumper. That's daft. Are my teeth real? No, they're made from actual horses. Hello, Nick. Hello, Mark. Mighty Cat Mods. No, we're literally 1 minute 40 in, and I spent a few moments trying to fiddle with the settings on the computer because when I started the live stream, we didn't get the usual menus up where I had to go and tick loads of boxes and things. So yeah, a bit weird actually. So apparently 28 people have viewed it and 58 people are watching, but that doesn't make any sense. Right, let's go back into the comments, which I keep losing. Dad Skills, hello, you're right. You need to edit your car in a minute. Olive wall is still looking good. I love that olive wall actually, it's really nice. It looks good with the pictures behind it. But if I turn it ever so slightly, there you go. See a bit more of the artwork on the wall. Who have we got here? Steve, Ed from Canterbury, hello, hope you're okay now. Classic Britain, no, you did forget to come and buy a cup like the NEC. You said hello, you promised you would. You're dead to me. You're dead to me, Sheldon. What am I hoping Santa's going to bring for me? I don't know actually. I'm not quite sure what I want, to be honest. I really like the Swatch art watches. I've hinted that to Mrs. Furious. I quite like those. But I suspect I probably won't get that. The money, so I can buy my own things. Any recommendations on something under £5 which isn't stupid? Oh, I assume £5,000 or £500. Right, family, you need to add some zeros to that question. I'm not sure there's anything for £5 which is reliable. Steve Davis, sort of now button day, waiting for the MOT to pass. Fantastic, that's good news. Uni, hello from Austria. Hello to Austria. Working on refactoration. Well, at least it's something good to watch. There's something else on as well as this. Hey. Yes, we got the message from you about the hospital. So yeah, I hope you're better now and everything's feeling all right now. Even Mr. Grumpy Talk. Did I sort out the expansion tank on the P6B? No, I've not actually played with the P6B for a couple of weeks actually. It's cold in the garage. Am I planning to kidnap Adam's beautiful ET headrest on his P6 for one of mine? No, because I've got ETs on both of mine already. I was very, very lucky with my cars. I've been making some progress on the Classic Mini in the barn, but it doesn't look any different. So I'm waiting. I'll probably put it next week. About a month of just doing a bit and a bit and a bit on the Mini. I'll divert quickly off this. The thing with the Classic Mini, the 1969 Mark II, is that I'm basically trying to get the thing back to a bare metal shell so I can work on painting it, welding it, and making it a solid car. The problem is that kind of work takes hours and hours, and it looks very, very the same for a very long time. So I'm going to get it to a point where visible progress is made, and then I can show you something. Hopefully, I'll get to a point next week where you can do that. Any advice on buying a Rover 75? Yeah, if you're in ULEZ, yes. First of all, petrol is probably the better choice. Apparently, some of the later diesels are ULEZ. I'm not quite sure about that. Run it through the checker. Check for rust, basically. They rust out in the subframes and the trailing arms. So check all of that kind of stuff. You can get pretty much all the bits now from DMGRS. But yeah, double check all of that kind of malarkey if you're buying a Rover 75. Make sure the computers work and the body control modules, that kind of stuff. You know, the usual things for a 20-year-old car. But yeah, rust in the sills and the frame. Oh gosh, hello to Brazil. What rust have I found today? None. I didn't find any rust today, which is frankly a miracle. But then I didn't look very hard for any either, so probably for the best. Right, where are we? Comment. Have 60 diesels started any work on the 123 yet? They haven't told me that they've started any, but then I don't know. They might have had a look at it. Last time I saw anything from them was when they put it on the hoist and had a look at it and had a bit of an inspection. But I know they've got tons of their own work to get through, so they're probably not in a hurry to get to it, and that's fine because I've got nowhere to put it when it comes back. So if it stays there a good long while, it's absolutely fine. My only issue is now I've got lots of boxes of bits of it all around the garage and the barn and the lockup and everywhere basically. It's amazing how much space a car takes when it's in pieces. Surprising amount, even a small one. You want more views on the Rover 200? So you also saying keep the Rover 200. Well, Rover, yes, it was. Steve, the Rover 200 wasn't really in line for the chop particularly. I mean, the only person who I would sell it to if I was going to sell the 200 VI is the previous owner, who I'm friends with, and he's quite keen to have it back. So if I did need space or money in a massive hurry, it could go to him, and then I know it'd be safe at least because he'd look after it as much as I do because he absolutely loves the car as well. Um, But yeah, at the moment, I'm not planning on getting rid of the 200 VI. It's an awful lot of fun. Oh, oh yes, the Planes, Trains and Automobiles video. If you haven't seen the, what was it called? The Chrysler LeBaron Woody convertible video from a couple of weeks ago, which came out the same day as Thanksgiving, with lots and lots of Planes, Trains references. And please do, after this, go back and check that out. That car is amazing. It's the same thing that Hoovy buried in the Car Wizard's garden about 7 years ago, it turns out. I couldn't believe I've been watching Hoovy that long. Because his one, he bought one which apparently was going to be a good one from a big collection, and yeah, it was absolutely rotten. So all he could do was bury it in the garden. It's exactly the same as that, apart from I think that one was white. Let's go back again. Oh no, Uni, my R50 Mini killed its head gasket. So, oh, is that why you're stranded abroad? Because your Mini's dead. I don't think it's too big of a job on one of those, but it's a timing chain, so it's pretty not a bad thing to change the timing chain, because generally that's a lifetime thing. But if you've got the opportunity to switch it out, then why not? Oh, clunker cars. With all your fleet of challenges this year, what was something that this time last year would not have believed or expected? Oh, it's a good question. I'm still doing this. Got 100,000. That's something. I couldn't believe that took that long because the channel growth seemed to just completely die for a while. But now we're back on growing. That's quite good. Don't have this many cars. I don't think I expected to have this many cars because I don't think I thought I'd have the Rover 75 still either, because that should have sold about 9 months ago and left a space in the drive and a wallet full of money. But yeah. Right, let's go back and try and do this in order. I'd enjoy it if Mr. Furious could squeeze in another Audi. Looking at similar channels, do you mean a review or to buy? I've never owned an Audi. Haven't really seen any to review either in a while. Hello, Gentle, how are you? Hope you're keeping well. Hope your BMW's all right. Have you sold that Subaru yet? If you have, let me know. If you haven't, also let me know. No, not announcing anything tonight. But I haven't done a live for absolutely ages, and everyone's out tonight, so I thought it'd be a good opportunity to get one done. because I imagine there'll be quite a few people doing live things as we run up into Christmas. People start taking time off, and I thought I'd try and be the first one for a change. Normally, I'm planning on doing a live chat one night, and I'm about to go and do it, and then I see that Hubnut's out or someone else is out doing a live, and I wind up doing it 2 days after, and it gets very, very low views because everyone's done all the lives, they're all bored of it. So I thought, I'm going to get the first one in for a change. It makes a nice change for me. My curtains are crazy. The curtains are really cool, aren't they? They're like jelly beans or something, very 1960s. My Punto mug from the NEC cracked. Hubnuts was better and cheaper. I thought Hubnuts was slightly... Oh, Hubnut doesn't have to charge VAT. I can't be held responsible for you dropping your mugs. I can sell you another one, though. It's a shame it's broken, though. Okay, Ibby's taken over his mum's 1978 Mini Clubman, which is owned from new. Wow, hasn't been driven for 5 years. Yeah, definitely wants all the fluids replacing on that. Yeah, and a thorough inspection. Great fun car, though. I did a review on a mid-70s Clubman a little while ago with the fake wood and everything. That was really, really good fun. Loved it. NA Turbo, hope you guys are all well as well. What more views on the 200? The trouble with the Rev 200 is it really doesn't brake very much. We'll have to just do a drive somewhere in it to go and get it used. That's actually on the drive at the moment because just don't tax everything every month because it's too expensive to do all the cars taxed all the time. But the 200 is the one I picked for this month because it's just really good fun. Hooked on Classics, thank you very much indeed. 100k, really do appreciate that. Thank you for subscribing. Would be a bit boring if no one did. Oh, Allegro Man is selling a really nice Rover 75 Turbo. Is that related to Project Nigel? Because I think Project Nigel's been selling a 75 as well, hasn't he? What gearbox, says Mark, would I ideally like for the Rover 4.6? Yeah, I want to get a manual in it. 5-speed manual. There's a couple of options. So newer gearboxes rather than the old LT or the old Ford Type 9, whatever it was. They're a little bit agricultural. They're a little bit nicer. But yeah, that's the thing. And yes, ultimately probably a diff upgrade as well because yeah, the differential is not really up to the strength of that engine. Oh, Uni's blown his head gasket in a Mini R50. Yeah, changed timing chain on it 2 months ago. That's annoying. So, oh, so the car's not abroad. DAF haven't stopped working. Oh, the Saab, yes, Stevie Weeby TV. Yeah, the Saab 900 was amazing. You've probably seen the car itself. If you've been to Rustville, to Photo, to quite a few other shows, it's been all over the place, and it's a really well-known car. But it's such a fantastic story, owned by the lady who owns its family from brand new, basically. But yeah, that's a great car. Another video to go and check out as well. That was just incredible. Ordered by a sheikh, got bored waiting because it was a special order, so bought a Lamborghini instead. It's the obvious choice, Lamborghini or Saab. I think I probably prefer the Saab, to be honest. Hello, Karim. Not seen the Punto for a while. No, it's because it's just been parked up on sawn in the garage. Not really used it. There's so many cars, you don't use all the cars all the time, and you sawn them because it's too expensive to tax every car every month, as I've said. And so the Punto's one of the ones that's been tucked away for a few weeks, just out of the way and out of harm's way. So it's safe, it's just not needing any work. It needs to go to the body shop, but the body shop has still got the Rover 400. So, yeah. Psycho says, follows up with the second thing to clarify. Have I decided whether to keep it auto or convert to manual on the Mark II Mini? I think because of the value of keeping it original, I will keep it as an auto and then decide whether to keep it or sell it. Because it's as a restored auto 1000 Mini Morris Bloody Bar, it's worth quite a lot of money. And the temptation would be perhaps to sell it and then buy a less valuable one that I could actually sort of thrash around and enjoy a bit. I don't know. But yeah, certainly I keep it as an original for the moment and also prove that the engine and gearbox work, and then possibly engine swap it and keep the engine and gearbox and subframe on ice and switch into a different engine. Because with the Mini, you just got to drop the subframe and the entire engine comes out with the front wheels. So it's not really a big deal to switch it to something different. So yeah. Hello, Terry Price. Hello. I know Rustville is the main event for you, but any smaller socials plan? Yes, definitely. We're planning to have a Rustville announcement in a couple of weeks' time. We're still just finalising. The problem with something like Rustville, if we suggest a date and say we think we're going to do this date, and everyone starts booking hotels, planning travel, that kind of stuff, it's quite a big thing now. It's really taken off in a way we couldn't imagine. And then we find there's a problem with the venue or some other thing, and we haven't set it in stone, but we've set a date and we have to change it. We're going to upset a lot of people, so I won't say a date now, but yes, we have got a date in mind. And so, yes, we're looking forward to that very much. But yes, I'm also planning to do an awful lot more of the socials again, because I didn't really do any this year, because we did 2 Rustivals, plus we did photo, not as a stall holder or anything, but just went along to photo, and I went along to the NEC both times. Yeah, it was a really busy year for big shows, so I didn't really get time to do the small ones. But this year, definitely, I want to do Gilks or Jilks. How do you say it? J or a G sound on Gilks? Also, I want to get back to the coffee shop place I did in Horsham. They were really good. Back up to the Motorist, that was good. There's that place in the West Country, the Motor Hub, I think it's called. I've never been there, but I know a few other people have been there. It's been really good. Yeah, there's a couple other places I'm looking at as well. So I'm going to try and visit many places and do a lot more smaller events as well throughout the year. But definitely want to get more of those done this 2025. You've all put me off for over 75. What's wrong with you? Steve. Man called X, hello, and Simone, wherever Simone is. What estate is your first choice of the budget of £8,000? Ooh, good question. I love a Mercedes, what do you call it? W204. You can probably get one for much less than that, or even a W205 if it was a manual. Those have fallen down quite a lot because they're really, really good. If you want a comfortable estate car that drives nicely and is generally very, very reliable, touching wood and all that, can't go wrong with a C-Class estate or even an E-Class if you need bigger space. Also, I would quite fancy, as someone was saying on Facebook earlier, Subaru wagon of some kind. Those are a lot of fun, 4-wheel drive, tons of space, or an old Peugeot 406. Oh no, that's going to be way cheap, isn't it? You're undershooting that. 5 Series, but I would want to take a very good warranty on a 5 Series. Mondeo estate. That's a perfect choice. Huge, good to drive, loads of equipment, way under budget. Can't go wrong. Mondeo estate. You're sorted there. Hello, Lord Stiff Upper Lip. Oh, Uni's got some stuff for junk in the trunk. Yes, please do. Junk in the trunk's been a bit slim pickings the last couple of episodes. So if you've got anything for junk in the trunk for unboxing and showing to the world, I always call it a Tony Hart's gallery, but with car stuff, then do bung it into the PO Box. PO Box 477 Aylesford ME69LE. Gosh, I finally remembered it after 3 years. Merry Christmas, man called X. Rover 75 is much better than the Volvo. Yeah, I don't know if it's Darren who keeps commenting, sell the Volvo, keep the Rover 75, or a couple of people, or if Darren's just very vocal on comments. But yeah, no, the thing about the Volvo is it's so iconic and it's so standout. If I'm very honest, neither the Rover 75 or the Volvo are fantastic to drive. They're very nice to be in, but they're not amazing drivers. But the Rover is also ULEZ compatible and it's more economical. And also, whenever I take the Volvo anywhere, the Volvo just gets so many looks. People absolutely love it. But also, the Rover 75 is now becoming rare enough. It's starting to stand out and be a bit unusual as well. Oh, Hooked on Classics is... okay. Hooked on Classics is Simone with the rusty bonneted 75. I didn't know that. I can put a name to a face with that comment. Thank you, Simone. Am I drinking bubble bath? No, I'm drinking Nissan Leaf branded Brickledick from a Blade Runner 2049 glass. Thanks, Jason, for that. You know, I actually completely ran out of whiskey recently. I had 2 bottles of this, weirdly, from a press event years ago, which I didn't dare open because I wondered if it was like really valuable or something, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to open one. It's actually very nice, it's very light. But then my birthday came up a little while ago, and I got some very, very nice whiskey indeed from a couple of friends. So thank you, friends. Robert Fraser, a grand piano contains more parts than a car. I need numbers for that. And also, does it depend on the car? I mean, if it's like a Rolls Royce or something with the Starliner headlining, that's going to have more parts, surely. Oh, Gentil. E12 is doing great. That's good to hear. Subaru, I'm waiting on a decision from a potential buyer. Is he in Lincolnshire by any chance? Let me know if he's in Lincolnshire. I think he will be. Hello, Thanos. Where am I? My Rover 200 VI has decided to have a power steering leak. Oh no, Noah, that's not good. Yours is the one with the VI number plate, isn't it? Is it a serious thing? Is it just a pipe that's given up, or is it something more serious? Hopefully it's not expensive and you can fix it nice and easy. Ibby, yes, I did have a booth at Margate, Oso Retro. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. That was a really good show, but it didn't do at all well for me because people didn't. I don't know. There's a wrong kind of crowd for coming to see me. Put the 200 on Kitch's dyno. Yeah, that'd be quite fun. It should be making about 135 horsepower, I think, or 150. I can't remember offhand. I could Google that, I suppose. Hang on, I'm going to Google it. Rover 200 VI MPG. Da, da, da. 142. So I was wrong on both counts. Right. I think someone's answered me how many parts the grand piano's got. Get a Wolseley Hornet. Yeah, do you know what? I'd love a Wolseley Hornet. Really, really cool. In fact, although what I actually would prefer would be a Wolseley 1500. They are really nice. They look so good. They drive really nice as well, and they're rear-wheel drive. Stevie Weevy TV, I'd much rather have a Saab than a Lamborghini. I'd rather an Allegro than a Lambo. I don't know. I think that may be crossing a line too far. Like if it's a choice of an Allegro or a Lambo, I might have to go with a Lambo. Oops. Darren Spires, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Favourite channel. Goodness knows why. Would love to attend Rustville, a bit of Gaydon again, or too early to say. Quite likely Gaydon, because they are such a good host to us. They've been really, really helpful. Couldn't ask for more from those guys. Hello, Sean. Sean Cook's here in the house. Up and Down Dyno. I actually asked Up and Down if he would dyno the 4.6 Rover, but he said not while it's got the automatic in it. So once I've got the manual swap in it, we can do that. Okay, Imp 5011. Am I tempted to manual swap the Crown Vic, considering doing it on the Crown Marquis? You know, before I got one, I absolutely was. That was my first. I even looked into how you do it, and there's basically kits you can buy in America, and it uses a Mustang gearbox and gear and clutch and everything. And it's a really, really easy swap. But the thing is, there's something very iconic, and it's important to mention at the beginning, as well as me disliking automatics, the auto in the Crown Vic is terrible. In the whole grand pantheon of automatic gearboxes, where there are good ones at the top and bad ones at the bottom, and that's the plateau of bad ones, it's down there. It's slow shifting, it's sluggish, it brakes easy. There's just nothing good about it. It's a 4-speed plus overdrive, so it's almost a 5-speed. It's a real weak point in the car. But when you get in and you do that thing with the column shift where you just go clonk, 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 clonk to go down into drive, it's such an iconic move. It's like every cop movie, every TV show you've ever seen. That kind of does kind of make it want to be original in that respect, because it's just like the whole thing. You jump in the car, you start up, you hear that such a definitive roar from that V8, and then you through the column shifter. So yeah, also if it gets used for any TV or film in the future, which I would love for it to be done, then that would be kind of essential. Pianos don't rust. Oh, I don't know. Although, did you know that the SS United States, which was the last of the classic ocean liners, the designer was obsessed and terrified of fire. So everything on board that ship was aluminium, including I believe. No, the only thing that wasn't aluminium was the grand piano. Also, the United States is currently in a precarious position and about to be towed out of its long-term berth in Philadelphia and sunk as an artificial reef, which is very sad. But then no one could get any funding to restore it. So, yeah, very, very sad. I was hoping to get over there to see that before it got sunk, but I don't think it will happen. Am I looking to get rid of the 75 when I finish it or keep it? Well, in theory, it's meant to be for sale, but I really, really like it. So, don't know. Rich, good evening. Rich de Breton. Happy Christmas to everybody. Kia Optima Sportswagen. Yes, estate recommendations. That's a very good recommendation. Or the Kia Ceedwagon as well. It's a really nice car, the Kia Ceedwagon. Not the biggest boot, but yeah, it's still very nice. Noah, got a glass of Talisker. Oh, I love a glass of Talisker. Prancing Moose must stay. There's a lot of love for the Volvo. That's the thing. Whenever I say I'm going to sell something, there are a lot of people who are fighting the corner of that particular car. Oh, that's an interesting thing. Captain Rolls tuned into the channel for the Crown Vic and then sold his earlier this year and bought, now get this, a 1966 AMC Rambler Ambassador 990 to replace it. Now that'd be cool. That'd be really, really cool. Subaru is extremely popular in America. They do seem to be. They do explode a lot in America, though. Not explode, but, you know, burst their gaskets. Yeah, in the north of America, they'll be popular because of the four-wheel drive. You know, in those kind of northern states into Canada, four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive is going to be absolutely essential. 200 VI, yeah, runs absolutely brilliantly. I mean, touch wood and all that, but yeah, that car's pretty much faultless. It's got a slight squeak from somewhere in the front, like something rotating is a little squeak, and I can't figure out what it is, but it's nothing to worry about as far as I can tell. Oh, 200 VI Noah's one with the power steering is just hose clips. That's a relief. Someone said that pianos don't rust, but yeah, leaving it on damp grass for 10 years will also, yeah, destroy a piano as well. Put Hippo on the rolling road. Not many places can rolling road a four-wheel drive. Previous owner did hint it had been remapped, and it does feel quicker than it should, so it'd be interesting to see what that did make. Because it's basically a BMW engine, but it's got different injectors, different manifolds. It's all, yeah, quite heavily modified, different turbo as well. Just spent £600 on my Rover 25. Wow. Well, I'm glad that Rover 25s are finally getting that kind of expense spent on them because they've deserved it for so long, but they haven't been worth it in terms of finance. If you get one that starts going rusty or broken, then it's cheaper to just buy another one. And now finally they're getting a bit rare, and it's, you know, worth actually bothering to fix. Oh wow, NA Turbo. I'm a total Rover convert now. Wow, got a 620 Ti. You're called NA, and you got a turbo. Had it nearly 2 years, 192,000. Can't imagine something. Wow, that's a great car. Happy Christmas, Andy. Oh, shocks and welding. Is that no different person? Oh yes, sorry, £600 for shocks and welding. Yeah, I'd do that. Any update on Mark II Mini? Yeah, that's probably going to come next week. It's a very slow process getting all the old paint off and getting it back to finding out exactly what the shell is like, which is the most important thing because I need to find out what I'm dealing with before I get too involved. But yeah, it'll be something I'm planning to do next week actually. Yeah, that's if I can get a little bit more work done over the weekend. I need to get going on the Mark III Cortina TC next year. What welder do I have? It's a Draper, it's a MIG, TIG, and the other one all in one kind of a deal. It's actually really, really good. If you go onto my Amazon page, linked under the videos, I think it's actually linked in there. And I did go through a cheapy Clark one, then a better one off Amazon, and then finally went for that one, and that's been the best one. I know you shouldn't see bad workman blame his tools and all that kind of thing, but the thing is, the better the welder you get, the better the result you can get as well. A really skilled welder can probably do really good work with a really basic welder, but if you're not the best welder, or if you're just an average welder, having good equipment that can make up for that is certainly a good idea. Gonzalo Sainz, greetings from Spain. Hello. Loving the reviews of old British models. I guess you don't get them over there, yeah, because you must have had more other brands as well, like Seats and Fiats and that kind of stuff. I need to get down there and do some reviews of cars we didn't get over here to send back. That would be quite a good idea. James, how pacey is a 200 VI compared to the Tomcat and the 145? It's actually very similar indeed. It's actually very similar power. All three of those cars are very similar power output. They're all in the kind of the 150-ish band, as we just looked up on the 200 VI. 100, just say 142 or 148. But because it's the 1.8 with the VTEC Yo in it, it absolutely flies. You get it up onto that sort of higher level cam, and the thing opens up, and it keeps on going and going. I think it's actually probably quicker than the Tomcat, even though the Tomcat should be rated a couple more horsepower, but it's just a slightly freer flowing engine, and it's very much on par with the 145. I think the thing about those cars, they're all 0 to 60 in around 8 seconds, but because they make a lot of noise and performance and fuss, they feel faster and they feel a lot more fun, a lot of bang for the buck. Let's get back to where we were. Sorry, I've lost my place. Bremer, the internet says a grand piano can have over 12,000 parts. Blimey. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Am I fed up with all the car vertical ads on car content? Yes, because they're not paying me at the moment. My answer would be different if they were sponsoring my channel. But yeah, you do seem to get gluts of a particular company is really pushing hard, and you do see it everywhere. What's better? Oh God, 1981 Ford Escort 1.3L estate or an 83 Vauxhall Chevette 4-door 1.3L to drive? I don't know that the 4-door or estate aspect would make a great deal of difference. Both 1.3, both rear-wheel drive. Personally, I kind of preferred the Ford, but it's very much down to personal preference. So I just like the steering a little bit more. Right says no. Crown Vic needs to be original, automatic, and all that kind of thing. It is a column shift. Yes, it's on your right hand. That means everything else on the left hand is indicators, wipers, all on one thingy. I don't always sleep with my hat on. Normally, sometimes if it's very cold, wear like a fluffy hoodie thing with a hood though. If it's really cold. 30,000 parts in a Rolls Royce. Wow, according to Google AI, so it's probably wrong. Can't trust Google AI. So there's more parts in a Rolls Royce than there is in a piano. Okay, how much in a basic Mini? Blue Violet, evening. Cheers all the way from Indonesia. Oh gosh, hello. That's a long way away. Oh, thank you. Out there with Volvo 960. Oh, excellent choice. Hope it's got good aircon over there. Stevie, still needs to replace the headlining on Rupert the Rover 25. Yeah, Nitro Silver's done it. I've done it as well. I did it on the Volvo 740 and on the Mondeo. Mondeo was really easy because it was a hatchback, same as the Rover 25. If you've got a hatchback, doing headlining is actually really simple. The only thing is really just being careful with the plastic trim around the edge so you don't break any of it. Mondeo, nothing broke. The Volvo, lots broke. But yeah, once you've got it off, it's actually really simple. The only tricky thing really is putting it back in, which if you've got an assistant to help you, then certainly that makes life an awful lot easier. When will I buy an SD1? When I get lots more money. Hello, Jason. Bill Griff, hello. Happy Christmas to you as well. Yes, the Volvo 240 I did a while ago. That was a great car. Do I know anyone who can clean an MG Maestro? I think anyone should be able to clean an MG Maestro. I don't think there's any special requirements to that, are there? Well, you could just go and buy some stuff and have an afternoon just doing it yourself. I quite enjoy cleaning a car, to be honest. I kind of resent paying someone 20 quid to go and do a car. I can probably do a better job myself. And it's also quite nice to just spend some time. You get to know your car a bit, don't you? Sort of see any blemishes and defects, and you keep an eye on things. You know if any rust's starting to form, and you can deal with it. So yeah, I think cleaning the car yourself is really the best bet. Just head down to Diamond Bright and grab some stuff, and yeah. Ambassador come. Oh, this is the yeah. the AMC ambassador. Comes an original 327 cubic inch Nash V8 and an automatic tube drive transmission. Wow. Yeah, I can imagine finding parts is definitely a bit of a headache, but yeah, that'll be well worth it when it's done. What country are you in, Captain? Oops. Hello, would I buy a Morris Minor? Yeah, I really like a Morris Minor. In fact, I was starting to look at them when the Mini turned up. In fact, I had my eye on a couple. I was actually about to buy one as a project, but then the Mini turned up and then that one didn't. Have I tried blowing air them with an airline? I haven't got an airline at home at the moment, and also they're very, very fine holes to put an airline over. And also I think there might be valves. I think there might be one-way valves in a modern car like 75. If you put an airline on it, it might damage them. So I haven't done that just yet, but lots of people have said it's going to be the pump in the tank. This is the windscreen washers on the Rover 75 not working. Sean Cook's estate car recommendation for £8,000. A GMC Yukon 8.1 litre, does everything, doesn't break, does 250,000 miles easily, and you can park all the other cars in the boot as well. I don't know how many Yukons I've seen in the UK, not that many. Ibby, read the photo in the background, big fan of the P6, yes, me too, especially the 3.5. Prefer it when they don't have the spare wheel on the boot lid. It's because they didn't make the boot big enough, they had to put the boot lid, the spare on the boot lid. Oh, Hooked on Classics, well, goodbye, and see you soon, hopefully, if you're still around, because I think it was a few minutes ago you said that. Oh, Hooked on Classics, Simone, MOT on Tuesday for her 75. Mine is on Monday, so good luck to all the Rover 75s. Got to say diamond, right? What other YouTube channels am I watching at the moment? A lot of American stuff at the minute. Obviously the big ones, Hoovy and Vice Grip. Legit Street Cars I'm a big fan of. Who else do I watch? Hang on. I'll go into my recently viewed, because that's the easiest thing. I always forget. Someone puts me on the spot and I can't think what I'm up to. I've been watching a bit of Top Dead Centre in the UK. Watched one of Russ Ross's the other night. A lot of David Freiberger's new ones since he's left Motor Trend. Don't know who else I've been watching. Watched a little bit of Tavares, not so much of him these days. Oh, Sam Crack. Watched a couple of his recently. The usual English ones as well, of course. Oh, Curiosity Incorporated. That's one I was trying to think of. He's a Canadian guy who does like house clearances and antiques, but he's really into cars, so his car channel is quite interesting as well. Watching a bit of John Copeland and his dad fixing stuff up north. So I'm just trying to think who else. Oh, JM, of course. Oh, Tempting Fate Tours. You're trying to think of all these other companies, other YouTube channels. Tempting Fate. I spoke to this guy at the NEC. He's an American who's got a 1949, or 50 or so Morris Minor in America, which he's done massive road trips on. Yeah, really interesting. Also Finnegan's channel as well. OX of Roadkill. Oh, Sarah and June. Yes, I've not watched her for a couple of. Yeah, so quite a few channels actually. Living with a Classic, of course, Adam over in Sweden. Morsels and Motors, also driven. Miller Corner. He's not re-updated. Oh yes, he's got a new one. I'll watch that in a bit. So I'm just surprised at how many channels I do actually subscribe to be honest. I'm going a complete diversion of seeing what I'm looking at. Oh, Bruce Wilson, I've not watched him in a while. He does trucks in America. Anyway, right, I'll get back to the comments because lots of different things. Everyone's very tuned out now. As my driveway dissolved after the Blakewood escape, and has Mrs. Furious noticed? And on both counts, no and don't know because I parked the Rover 75 back on top of it. What's your dream goes for a drive car? It was the Cord, the 1936 or 7 Cord, and that was my absolute all-time dream car. And I've kind of peaked too early a bit just there. So I do like kind of oddball, different, unusual cars to a certain extent. So that was really, really cool. Some 70s Alphas, maybe like an Alpha Montreal would be really cool. As I'm in Kent, which show would I recommend out of Aylesford Priory or Edenbridge? I haven't done the Edenbridge show, but the Aylesford Primary one is very, very good indeed. Absolutely huge. Has the Rover 75 got a dry carpet? My 260 V8 was like a paddling pool. Yeah, it's been absolutely bone dry. The boot was a little bit damp, but I took the clips off the side trim that went down the side and put silicone on the back of them, and that seemed to fix it. But it's been under cover ever since then, so it's hard to tell. Let's go back. Oh, Paul Robinson. Oh, there's the white MG Maestro with no rot. The one I did a video on being rescued out of the garage. Paul Robinson. Sorry. Did you buy the barn find or garage find MG Maestro that we got running? Let me know. Yeah, that was a lovely car. Thanos. Common issue with 75s is the inlet of the washer pump clogs with gunk. If you pull it out and clean it, should be okay. Yeah, that's what a few people have said in the comments. Unfortunately, it does mean the thing I've just done, which is putting the wheel back on and putting the arch liner back in, I've got to take back out and off again in order to get to it, which is kind of annoying. Oh, Captain Roll's going to turn the Ambassador into a daily driver. I'm guessing you're in America in that case then. Oh, that'd be awesome. Do I watch Super Classic Motoring? Oh, I haven't in a while actually. I used to follow him quite thoroughly, but actually YouTube's weird because the algorithm will suddenly stop recommending and suggesting a particular channel for no reason, and it hasn't suggested any of Soup for a while. I need to go and look him up again. Oh, this is the AMC Rambler story. It gets better and better. Long-term plan is to drive it cross country to visit a friend and bring along a large number of model trains. This guy's living the dream. Out of all the cars I've driven, which one would I never have? And I try not to kind of, insult or denigrate any particular car and sort of upset the owners and try and say everything's got its good points. But if I was going to say there's one car I wouldn't give any kind of house room to and never want to drive again, it'd be a City Rover, because it was terrible. It had really, apart from, I said being cheap, but it really wasn't cheap. No redeeming features. It felt tinny, it felt cheap, it felt bad to drive. Yeah. That's that one, unfortunately. Robert, my MG ZS facelift passenger washer jets just stopped working, but the driver's side was perfect. No amount of cleaning it did anything. Left it alone for a few weeks and now it works perfectly. Ironically, that's kind of exactly what's happened on the Freelander. The driver's side washer jets both work absolutely fine. The passenger side ones don't work at all. And I have tried that technique of leaving them alone, ignoring them, but it hasn't fixed them. So what I've done is got a pin, and I've now got one of the two jets pointing at the passenger side and one of the two jets pointing at the driver's side, and it does the job. It's a kind of a fix. Evening, Jason. Mr. Hughes. I did want to offer you the chance to do a video on my Peugeot 306 S16. Please do offer me that, because I absolutely love that, unless you're the Peugeot dude and son are in Australia, in which case I can't get to you. But no, 306 is one of those cars I'm actually kind of solidly tempted into buying one at some point, because I've really wanted an XSI for a long time, but the S16 even more so. Mighty Cat, don't forget to smash the like button. I forgot to say that, so someone hit that and then hit subscribe as well. Captain Rolls used to live outside Detroit. Yes, I figured it had to be America describing that. Peugeot Dude and Son says, good show in Kent is Headcorn by Running Retros. Oh, morning show. Good. Oh, that sounds good. I'll have to look that one up. Is that monthly or is it annual? Oh yes, Mr. Ross, Lance Ross there. Also recommending the Clickbait channel, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah, I do quite a lot of camera stuff as well when I'm not doing car stuff. Just did a review on, or a kind of history story I should say, on the Minolta 7000, which is the first autofocus SLR, and also the first, kind of first of everything. Built-in motor drive, built-in autofocus, first of firsts. Really fascinating camera, and that's a big old film beast as well. Right, family, this is dangerous. Looking for a replacement car and just found a Rover SD1 V8 in my budget. This is not good. Yes, it is. I wonder if I convince my wife it's actually the perfect daily. It is, because you got no road tax probably. Cheap insurance. Go to the ULEZ, no problem. Edward Allen Newton, good evening. Hello to you. Thanos, I was chasing perpetual boot leaks as well. Yeah, they do seem to suffer with boot leaks in the Rover 75s. Now a Jag convert. Peugeot dude, am I going to the Brooklands New Year's Day event? Also in Kenton, we'll be going. Do you know, I'm hoping to be, but I don't actually know yet. But normally we seem to be up at my in-laws in New Year, and this year I don't think we will be. And when I suggested we would go to, sorry, family just coming back, so I'm going to shut the door. When I suggested going to Brooklands, the response was muted at best. Oh yeah, I was going to say, yes, if you like camera stuff, find the clickbait channel. There should be a link in the description below. All about cameras. Trying to get that channel off the ground so I can do things when it's raining that aren't car things. Oh, Ian, thank you. Just saying you enjoys the channel, so the clickbait channel, so thank you. New photography. Oof, suits you, sir, suits you. Classic Britain says not a fan of the SD1. Yeah, yours was rotten though, Sheldon. If you buy the most rotten version of a car, it will be a bad example. The nice ones are nice. And I always say the thing with SD1s is they were built terribly, but they're a good car under the terrible build. So if any have survived and are on the road at this point, they're generally going to be okay. Not a guarantee, of course. I would say the SD1 was very designed better than the 800, but built far worse. What car did I learn in? It was a combination, and this really bugs me because I can't fully remember. The Mark II Escort was really good to drive because it's so basic and simple and really good sort of place to learn in. So lots of lessons at home in that. But also it was a Nissan, but I can't 100% place what it was that my instructor had. But yeah, both manual, obviously, back in those days. God, Stevie Linton, a 1990 Mazda 121 called Noddy, basically a Fiesta. What are the plans, says Ian, of the 400 estate? I want to do a little bit of light modification to that car. I want to change the wheels, lower the suspension. It needs a headlining. Yeah, so keep it mostly standard, but a few light touches to make it a little bit stand out, a little bit different. Because basically it's a Honda, and you can go properly Honda boy with OI on them without going too far. It's an interesting car. It's a rare car, and I'm looking forward to sort of seeing that back eventually. Yeah, and just make it a little bit more interesting. Love 90s. Greetings from Italy, one of my favourite countries. Hello, Italy. Edwards, I'm assuming you mean the Rover 400 being your favourite Rover. Yeah, it's a nice car. I've forgotten how nice it is. Edward says, how is Quentin the Rover? And this is the thing about Quentin. Whenever I see Quentin written, it's always written differently. This is actually written correctly. But a lot of different spellings for Quentin on Facebook and things. Quentin, as far as I can tell, is doing fine. Sold it to a friend of mine who kept it for a little while. He was having some trouble with his knee after an old injury, I think, and he had to sell it and get an auto. It's down somewhere in the sort of home counties, Surrey, Sussex way, as far as I know. And the owner is in the Facebook group for 200 convertibles, and he's loving the car. Keeps it garaged to the winter, looks after it really nicely, takes it to shows. As far as I know, it's holding up really nicely. So I'm very pleased that Quentin is in good shape and still around. Oh, okay. Sheldon, Classic Britain, his SD1 was good when he got it and rotted away in 2 years. Wow. Yes, if you're going to Brooklands, Mercedes-Benz World is fantastic. That's a really good place. And if you're feeling a bit flush, you can do the off-road course or the drifting course as well. Yeah, and if he says it's free, yeah, great day out. And they've got a nice cafe there as well. Actually, if you're on the M25 and you're going past Junction 10 and it's not peak time, it's actually really nice to stop in there, because you off Junction 10, go London bound on the A3, one exit, and you come off and drive for about 5 minutes, and you're at Brooklands / Mercedes-Benz World. You can go into Mercedes-Benz World for free. Got a lovely cafe, got really clean toilets. It's a nice environment. If you're not in a hurry and not trying to run in and out, and as I say, it's not peak time, so there's a really bad roundabout for traffic. But you can go in there and have a nice break instead of going to the services. Ian says, any plans for an earlier BMC product like a Mine or an A30? Well, not plans as such. I mean, I just said a few minutes ago, I nearly bought a Morris Minor just before I got the Mini. I was very, very close to going into one of those, and I've always quite fancied a Minor. Yeah, and an A30. There's quite a few of those cars, or as we said, a Wolseley Hornet or a Wolseley 1500 or an MG Magnet. There's a lot actually. Yes, yeah. I'm thinking about it. The more I think about it, the more I realise there are loads of the cars from BMC and the predecessors of those companies that I would very much like to have. Yeah, just don't actually got any solid plans to acquire one. Hartley, yeah, have I driven the Mondeo Titanium X 2.5T? Just bought a lowish mileage model. Absolutely love it. Real wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, they are brilliant, aren't they? They're really good cars. If it's a Titanium X, is that a Mark 3 or 4? No, they're brilliant. I think I really rate them. I actually would really like a 220 ST220 Mondeo, but just the road tax on it is just horrible. Just horrible. I'm just like 4 different words for bad all at once, trying to say it at one time. Thanos recently sat in a SD1 TP at auction. The seats are more comfortable than the W140. Yeah, the SD1 is a brilliant car. Unfortunately, it was nailed together by very angry people who didn't want to be there, and that showed. Thoughts on the Mark III Cavalier? It was the last good Vauxhall, is what I called it for a long time. They're really, really, really good cars. My dad had one as a company car, and I thought it was an excellent car. And I did a back-to-back review for a magazine for photos a couple of years ago. The Mark II Cavalier, the new, same year would have been new Sierra, and the Maestro. And the Mark II Cavalier was so much better than the Sierra and the Austin. And then the Mark III came along, and it was even better still. I think they're fantastic. They just plod on forever. Maybe not the most inspiring thing to drive, but a really, really good car all in. Oh, this is Classic Britain, but the SD1, the rotten one. We thought about selling it, but it's a 79 Series 1 V8 manual in factory yellow. Wow, yeah, that's definitely worth sorting out. How's W123 going, jumping from car to car here? I don't know. I think it's, well, I know it's in storage with 6D. I'm not in a hurry to have it back because I need to sort out some more storage for when it returns. I haven't done that. Any cars you went to look at and then ran a mile from? Not really. I've sort of sauntered away and thought about it more and then decided not to a couple of times. I nearly bought them as an everyday car years ago, an orange Mark III Escort 2-door estate, but the handbrake had seized on at the dealership because it had been sat for so long on the lot, and I really wish I had bought it now because it would have been such a cool thing today. I nearly bought a Triumph Acclaim second-hand from the same dealer actually at a different time. And I didn't buy that, and I kind of regret not buying that now. But no, generally I've not found anything that was so terrible I've walked away from it. They're making a new Ford Escort Mark 1. I didn't know about that, so I haven't got any thoughts on it. It's just like a rest, like a continuation type thing with old shells or continuing the numbers on in sequence or something. Brian, hello from Scotland. Hello to Scotland. After watching your channel, maybe want to go and get a Rover Tomcat, but they're getting rare now. Yeah, that's basically why I didn't sell mine a little while ago when I was considering getting rid of it a year or two back, is that even a couple of years ago I was kind of thinking, these are so rare, if I sell this I'm going to struggle to find another one, so I just hung on to it. But they are great cars if you can find one. Hello Mr. P-Scan. Philip, how are you? I hope you're well and enjoying your new camera. I've not heard any more since you said you got that. And I'll show you my new camera, Philip. It's not digital. I'll do my back in though. How's Rustville 3 talks going? Rustville 2 is great. Well, thank you. I said it earlier on. We've got a date and a venue in mind, but we're not going to commit to saying anything just yet. We'll say something in a couple of weeks' time, because if we were to sort of say anything now and then anything changed, it would be very confusing and awkward and difficult. So until everything is, I dot the T's and cross the I's and that kind of stuff, we'll keep it under our hats. But yes, Rustville 3 is coming. It's going to happen again. So looking forward to that a lot. 2.5 is the Volvo engine, so it would be the Mark IV. Yeah, is that the 5-cylinder? Yeah. Captain Rolls would absolutely love to have a Rover SD1. They imported them and then sold them here as the Rover 3500. Yes, not for very long though, did they? Finding one is like searching for a needle in a haystack. But yep, James Walsh from Practical Classics magazine, he did a road trip. I don't know if it's coast to coast exactly, but certainly quite a long one in a white SD1 3500 about 2 or 3 years or so ago. That car's still around. I wonder if he still knows where it is. Yeah, Ibby says, I've often found a great modern classic online, but then either the ULEZ or the annual road tax is the issue, as high as £710. Yes, that was something I was looking at earlier today. Found that with Saab 95s, yeah, because anything that's younger than 40 years old, so 1984, 85 next year, can you imagine 1985 and still not being treated as a classic and having to pay, road tax and ULEZ on it? It's so annoying. Jim says he cleared the blocked washer jets in his Suzuki Swift using a can of compressed air and blasting backwards. Yeah, a few people have suggested that, but so I think there are more my valves in this one, but I'm not sure. What is the common denominator for a car to join the Furious fleet? Generally, A, cheap, B, broken, C, available. Because quite often, more often than not, stuff finds me as much as I find it. It's not often that I actually go out looking for a specific car. They tend to just, someone suggests something, would you like A? And I go, yeah, do you know what? Is it cheap? I'll have it. Philip, loving the DF. Nikon DF, fantastic camera. Golden Croc. In the Diamond Bright sponsor intro on your start of your video, don't forget the code and head over to Diamond Bright. Need to keep them happy. We see you use it wash our cars, which brings to the question, where have you hidden your Ferrari F40? I don't like to talk about the F40. I don't want people to think I'm just sitting on a fortune here, so I don't mention the F40 too much. That was actually a video I shot for Diamond Bright at a seriously into his car's collector's collection, where we polished. In fact, I didn't. We didn't. It was a couple of BTCC touring car drivers washed and polished Ferrari Daytona and the F40. That was a really fun day, actually. Oh, Philip Christian, Mr. P-Scan. Oh, he's now using his Nikon DF with a 35mm f2 AFD. That sounds like a great combo. Proper classic looking setup with some really nice images. Hello from Finland. Hello to Finland. Been a subscriber for a while. Enjoy the videos. Oh, thank you. I was chill vibe. I tried doing the excited, but it doesn't come off very well, so I just stick to being not excited. Resting bored face. Yeah, Jason Camiso has a Rover SD1. He drove from Canada back to San Francisco. He did that really good video, didn't he, a while ago? My 2-litre T Saab 93 is 415 a year to tax. Daihatsu is only 210, but not ULEZ compliant. Yeah, that's kind of a problem, isn't it? Yeah, because the thing we've looked at, Mrs. Furious, she's got a new car which is on a loan because she drives into London a couple of times a week. We worked out that if she was to go and buy something just cheap, it would actually cost her more in ULEZ than it would in the loan she's paying on the car, which is ridiculous. Stevie says, when I was a kid, our neighbour had a light blue SD1. My sister and I went on holiday with them up to Norfolk when my mum was in hospital. I clearly remember the velour. Oh, the smell, the feel. Yeah, and it would have been such a great ride. Yeah. Ark says, is the Trading Up series returning next year? Yes, the plan is to, well, get the Alfa Romeo 159 fixed and flogged, and so I'll kickstart it with that. Although, of course, that has proved to be its own series of problems, which is, yes, should have been, the Alpha should have been sold about a month ago, to be honest. And it's been a real pain trying to get past that being broken. But yeah, it should be getting, because yeah, people like new content, people like new cars, and they want to see something different. So yeah, the Trading On, Trading Up series, yes, that should be coming back again fairly soon, probably after Christmas when there's opportunities for that. How do I acquire my automotive mechanical skills? Wouldn't call them incredible. My dad used to fix cars quite a lot in the driveway, and I used to sort of watch and help him. And then working on car magazines for many, many years, we used to do loads of tech features, and we would sort of go to specialist workshops, and then I'd spend the day photographing and sometimes taking notes, but more often not with a writer who's taking notes. Just learning all these specialist skills to put into magazines, and that's a really useful way of learning stuff. If you find the old back copies of magazines, you can learn an incredible amount of stuff. Richard Bath, my dream is to work with cars. I have Asperger's, but I just don't know how to get into it. I'm 35. I don't know. It depends what you're doing at the moment. I would generally sort of work experience or internship is probably the best route into it, because you need practical experience, and obviously you're not going to get employed without practical experience. But if you can identify what area you would like to be involved in, find a company who'd let you sort of just shadow people for a few days, maybe just like a day a week or something, to get the hang of it, see what you like, see what suits you. Go car dealers, some smaller garages perhaps. Yeah. Love 90s. Question: American muscle cars or European sports cars? Well, very, very different things, aren't they? American muscle cars are great for straight line speed and getting through your fuel budget, whereas European sports cars tend to be more fun for the twisty roads. And I think I kind of prefer the twisties. I'm very much an Alfa Romeo fan. So yeah, I'll probably go, if I had to pick one or the other forever, it would be the European sports cars. I do love an American muscle car, but if it was one, you know, one or the other forever. Would you want to try a manual new Gen 9.3 Saab Saloon? Sid, yes. As long as I've not driven anything too similar on the channel already, then yes, drop me an email to bodyintheboot@gmail.com. Philip, this is concerning ULEZ. Using my Jag whenever I feel like it. A ULEZ compliant diesel Jag is about 16,000, and that pays for a lot of £12.50. It certainly does. Yeah, because your old Jag, that wasn't ULEZ, was it? So you've changed it to one that is now. Definitely. Will I ever do a review on a Mercedes W212 E350 CDI? That is remarkably specific. But yeah, I'd like to do a 212, whether it's an E350 or not, depends what's out there, really. Oh, Philip still has the Rover. If you cast your mind back when ULEZ was becoming a big of a deal when the expansion happened, I drove that £200 Rover 25 ULEZ Beta. That was Philip's car, still using it, still going strong. Rover 25s are brilliant. Thanos, good night everyone. Happy Christmas, and hope you have a good Christmas. If I don't speak to you or at all before then, thank you for coming along. Jason, one car you wish you'd never bought and one car you wished you'd never sold. I guess you're going to say you said bought twice, but yeah. I wish I'd never bought this BMW E61. That one was absolute dumpster fire of failures. Terrible car. Put me off new BMWs because it just broke all the time. I wish I'd never sold my BMW E30 320 though. That was really, really good. But more so, I wish I'd never sold my Alpha 156 2.4 JTGM Lusso with the red leather interior. That was just fantastic, that car. And then I got the option to buy it back about 18 months, 2 years after I sold it for not a lot of money, but I had no where to put it. And yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, that one is no longer on the DVLA website, so I'm guessing it's been broken for its seats, which is really sad. Any more collaborations planned with LMM, Laurie's Mechanical Marvels? Not at the moment, but we did sort of part company saying we've got to do another one. This is really fun. Whether it's something involving trains on T-Brake channel or something involving cars, yeah, definitely we really want to go to. do some more stuff because it's just so much fun. Yeah, Laurie is very, very funny. Really good presenter as well, so we get great videos. Yeah, Steve said the problem with buying classics to flip and trade is the temptation to keep them all is too strong. Yeah, that is a serious problem. And I was looking at the 159 yesterday, and yeah, that's the thing. Even though it's absolutely bitten me in the bum and it's really causing me trouble, I was just looking at the things, looking at the interior, going, "Oh, this thing is so nice." Love 90s. Yeah, viva la Alfa Romeo, bella macchina. Um, yeah, I've had quite a few Alphas. Absolutely love them. Quite a few Fiats as well. Oh, cars we wish we never sold. The Fiat Barchetta. We had a lovely 2005 Fiat Barchetta. I say we. Mrs. Furious had it. But yeah, when she decided to get a dog, instead of keeping it and buying a cheap car to transport the dog in, we sold the car, which is definitely a mistake. Gosh, conversation about CNS going on. Bought the Zafira 2-litre DTI 12 years ago, still going strong, 250,000 miles. Blimey. W123, Richard. Not heard any more about it, so I'm hoping it's fine. I'm sure it will be. Yeah. Oh, spotted my Mercon 6D diesels video the other day. I've not seen all their most recent stuff. Was that the old one where they revealed it, or is it just in the background? Oh, Ian, you're in Dungeness. Oh, okay. Have I reviewed an R-Bath 124 Spider? The new one? No, I haven't. No, I would like to. Do you know, I think Jamie at Go Italian had a customer with one who might be able to put me in touch with one. So yeah, I need to go and chase him about that. Darren always wanted to be a mechanic, but didn't go that route. Got made redundant this year. I went to go and try a few backstreet garages and asked if they wanted to start a self-taught mechanic. Oh, so is that what you were doing now? You're working now. Brilliant. That's really good. Oh, excuse me. Simpsons Classics. Yeah, that was a good one as well with the Mini when he came down to help with the taking the Mini engine out. So here's another one. He's a long way away. He's up north, in north, with a capital T. Darren doing it for 8 months. Oh, that's brilliant. That's really good news. Congratulations. So Darren, made redundant, got the chance to go and have a fresh start and become a mechanic at last. That's really, really cool. How's solar stuff working out? It's paying us about 20 quid a month to £30 a month at the moment. So it depends what we use in terms of other power, but yeah, it's kind of breaking even. Dan, hello. How are you? Hope you're all right. Yeah, all good. Ready for Christmas almost. Any more plans with the single SA5? Yeah, kind of ish. Yeah, I'll get onto that soon probably. Have I ever fancied a classic camper van or anything else like bikes, or is it just cars? I would quite like a camper van. Yeah, since we've done the Freelandering with the roof tent, we have sort of spoken a couple of times at home about maybe getting some kind of camper van thing going. And I look at various ones. There's the old sort of 70s, early 80s Mercedes based ones which look quite good. I quite fancy that. My dream one, of course, is the GMC camper, that 6-wheel truck thing. Oh, I'd love one of those, but obviously that is just enormous. It's the side of a bus. But yeah, no, I do quite fancy the idea of either a micro camper would be like really, really cool to have. But with a micro camper, it is literally micro, so it's like a one-person camper, like a Mazda Bongo or a Suzuki. What do you call it? The Bedford Rascal size one. And there's some really at the Japanese car show, Japfest at Brands Hatch. There were some really, really cool K vans which I'd not seen before, and they were all converted into camper vans with like one person sleeping in there with a little tiny cooker and a little tiny sink. It looked so cool. Yeah, but yes, I would quite fancy it. I've never been into bikes. I couldn't tell you one bike from another bike, and I just worry about if I was on one, I just would feel so vulnerable. I don't even like cycling. I've tried cycling a couple of times recently. Didn't like being on the road with the cars around. People just don't feel like they're. Doesn't feel like people are paying attention. Parknest, hello. Hope you're okay. Daniel, hello. West Midlands. Dan says, what are plans for the Rover 75? Keep making it much, much nicer. go through all the things, make sure it's just completely as pristine as possible, then maybe think about moving on. But we'll see. We'll see. Love to see me get a Volvo 850. Oh yeah, T5, especially in yellow. Yellow 850 T5 would be perfect. Partners now, thank you very much indeed on the 100k. Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. I'm so happy to finally get there. Berlingos are great. I don't know anyone with a Berlingo. So I can't take any recommendations or advice on them. I seem to know everyone I know seems to have a Berlingo at the moment. The Kangoo is another option. There's a little tiny Fiat one as well. Oh, bongos are, sorry, my eyes aren't good enough to read the iPad at this distance. Bongos are great. Very, very thirsty though. And as you say, practice your welding. They do rot quite badly. Yeah, it says the Kent Massive out tonight. Ha, not Berlingo, yuck. Yeah, I saw a new Berlingo the other day. They are massive, aren't they? Absolutely huge. Well, Dan, the thing with the 75 is I do kind of need to sell it to make more money and more space for new projects, but it is such a nice car. It's so lovely. And it's low mileage, it's one owner, it's all the right things. But yeah. Captain Rolls, here's another 100,000. Yes, let's hope so. Right, Mr. Wright family, I drive a Talbot Express, love it. Okay, but to Rustville's both times. K-sized car, yeah, that really is one person and cramped. My neighbour has a V6 petrol bongo. God, that must be thirsty. Wow, and the cam belt snapped during the emissions check on the MOT. That's unlucky. That would be expensive to fix on that. Curtis says, come on, admit it, you want to keep 75. Yeah, I know I want to keep it. It's just, it is like sitting in a small Bentley. It is, I mean, I've sat in plenty of Bentleys and it's as nice as many of them. Nicer than some. Yeah, difficult. Oh, dear me. Curtis, also, yeah, thank you on the 100,000. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate it. Thank you for being a subscriber for so long and not unsubscribing, importantly. Because when we're getting up to that date, it was like 999, 998, 997, 998, 997, 998, 999, and then I got the yo-yo going up and down. The 75, problem with the 75, it's too nice to use as a daily now. Because it's what, 22 years old next year. And yeah, it's not a young car and it's amazing condition. And a lot of people have said to me, why don't I use a 75 as a daily? And the thing is, if you're doing like 300 miles in a day, or 100, I mean, I do 150 miles pretty much, yeah, a couple of times a week, 400 miles a day, not that infrequently as well. That would just absolutely ruin it. I'll get a Bedford CF camper van. Yeah, that was the first one I thought of. Yeah. So you can have the joy of owning. He can have the joy of owning it without the pain of welding. Yeah. But no, after I drove the Bedford pickup truck, I was really quite tempted. Oh, there were, sorry, multiple conversations. W123 was in the background on 6D diesels, and the Punto is absolutely fine. I went and checked on it a couple of days ago. It's in the lock-up garage. It's out of the weather. It's kept safe. It's unsawn for winter time. I'm not going to take it out in the salt or the bad weather. There's no need to. I've got newer cars, less special cars, so we can keep safe in the dry. Dan says, have I ever fancied a first generation Porsche Boxster as a project? Yes, many times. I drove past a wire edge one today and I thought, again, I really want a Porsche Boxster. And there's never going to be a better time to buy one. They are absolutely rock bottom price, 2.7 especially. I know it kind of seems like the thing to have because Johnny Smith's got one, and I think Matt Watson's got one, and so has Auto Alex, have they got one as well? But they are so good. If I hadn't found the MX-5, I probably would have one already. So, yeah. Ibby says, immediately after seeing the Rev 75 video, you guessed it, went to Auto Trader, found one that looked very appealing until I looked at the MOT history. Ooh, yeah. A lot of them, though, are very minor things. on those, minor rust on the subframes and things, which isn't really too much of a problem. Richard, the Mini, the old Mini, 60s Mini, video coming next week. It's going slowly. Citroen H fans, very slow and noisy. The last Citroen H fan I saw, which I really wanted, was a car I shot for a practical performance car, and the guy had swapped an Audi 5-cylinder into it, and the thing absolutely flew. But he also had a wood-burning stove in the back and a bookshelf, so it was a bit of a contradiction, but brilliant. So Ian, hello Ian, how are you? Yes, slow, noisy things throwing. Yes, they are, but they are very cool. My son's school has just got a Citroen H van to turn into a playground, a sort of sandwich van thing, which is a really cool idea. What's the perfect car to match my Speedmaster? Well, technically it'd be a 1960s Corvette, because all the astronauts had one of those painted gold. That'd be the most accurate one to go for it. You actually see the rocket in the background. Any new die-cast cars? Oh, have I? I don't know if you've not seen anything I've got recently. I'm running around, looking around the room frantically. I did find 2 of the Hot Wheels minis. Yeah, both of them being Morris's. I had to get them because obviously Morris Mini. I did find the P6 Hot Wheels collection as well. That's quite hard to find. But no, I don't think I've got any other. No. Oh yeah, this was quite cool. This was a gift. This is a pretend Lego Crown Vic, which is very fun. It's got dusty already. That is really cool. Where are we? There's a Citroen H van outside the entertainment complex at Thornwick Bay. Huh, they seem to wind up everywhere, don't they? Ian's comment has gone hubnut. Look at that plaque on the wall. Look at that. It dust that already. Nicholas says, hello, I watched your Mondeo series that helped me a lot since I own one myself. Oh, thank you. Oh, good. I hope you didn't have any problems as serious as mine was, because that was an absolute nightmare of a car. But it is still going. Friend Tim has still got it. It's actually, I think it's still for sale. He's used it for a while, but now he's got a couple of other classic cars he's using as dailies because do big miles. And yeah, he's trying to move it on now. But it's a great car and still running really well. Oh, thank you, Devin. I think we're overdue some radio control car content. Yeah, that's a good excuse to buy a radio control car and put on expenses there. I did make a radio control car video back during lockdown when I was really sort of running out of things to do. So I got my old Schumacher Top Cat out of the loft and bought some bits to fix it. Took it into the field nearby where I could go for my daily walk. That was quite good actually. But if I was going to do a camper conversion, it'd be a Peugeot Boxer, yeah. Wide enough to sleep sideways across the back. Yeah, that's quite a big camper then, isn't it? The cheapest Rover, this is Parkness, the cheapest Rover 75 on Auto Trader is a 54 plate CDTI Connoisseur with 174,000 miles on the clock and a month's MOT. How much is that? Go on, someone needs to buy that. Will I do a road trip with Hubnut? Anything's on the table. Never say never. That would be quite fun. I'm fresh, quite a few other automotive YouTubers. Well, the thing is, yeah, it's a small world, and Alex's assets, I know because she's got a Rover P6 on her to the Rover P6 Club. Matt Watson, I used to work with at Auto Express many years ago. Joseph, I can't remember how I met. Oh, I met him through the Cheap Car Challenge thing in 2019. It's a small world. £600 for the Rover 75. Oh, someone go to Liverpool and buy that thing. Where am I? Scroll back to the comments. So Ian and Carly, they're sorted because one person can be talking, the other person can be scrolling the comments. It makes it so much easier. Oh wow, this is mad. At Birmingham Christmas Market, I saw a fake H fan that was literally just a trailer dressed up. I think I've seen one of those as well. There must be a company knocking those out. It's kind of good because they're not destroying H fans to turn into coffee vans. But yeah, where are we? Where are we? Yeah, 600 quid for a 75. That is a bargain because Rover 600s are now getting to the point that some of them are just dirt cheap. At the other end, though, it's £3,000 or £4,000 for a nice one, which is kind of where I'm hoping mine is. But um, yeah, yeah, so much variety. Yes, Ian says Matt and I are in very early discussion about something. Yes, if we pull it off, it will be absolutely amazing. But yeah, we've got a lot more planning to do. But yeah, hopefully we can make it happen. I never say never, never say definitely yes. But yeah, we're very hopeful on this one. Yeah, saw some fake H fans in Brum last year. Some are very good, some are awful. Yeah, it's often the way. Yes, I can imagine Ian and James Walsh being very critical on the fake H fans and the real ones as well. If anyone knows a Citroen van, it's those two. Who, James Walsh does currently own most of the Citroen Berlingo's on the UK roads. In fact, off the UK roads with many of James's. God, we're doing 81 minutes now. I'll get a cup of tea soon. Sorry. Comments, comments, comments. Don't know actually. He might have. He's got a lot of cars. Oh, Al could help me out with the Mercedes T1 van. That's a good point. I imagine that 60 diesels would have a few Mercedes old vans knocking around. Those old 80s ones make perfect campers. Strong old diesel engine, big space in the back. Perfect, really. Whoa. Sorry, I'm scrolling across the camera. I must try not to do that. What's a Peugeot J7 like to drive, says Philip. Do you know, I don't know. I've never driven one. Ian, have you still there? Have you driven a Peugeot J7? Yeah, the ripple effect on the H fans is pretty unique. Um, Richard, yeah, I think I answered this a few minutes ago. Yes, the W123, no idea. I've left it in 60 diesels, capable hands, and yeah, until I find a bigger space to store it, I'm hoping they can take the time fixing it. As a company near the Wright family actually builds the H fans on Caravan A chassis. Oh, okay. So yeah, the A-frame is hidden underneath the bonnet when it's parked. That's very clever. Great idea. Have I ever painted wheels by myself? Yeah. Good tips: go slowly. Make sure you get into all the corners because that's the worst bit. If you don't sand them properly, don't clean them properly afterwards. And also, when you paint it, walk around it. If you can't rotate it on some kind of turntable, literally physically walk around the wheel and squirt it from 360 degrees. Otherwise, you wind up with unpainted bits and heavily painted bits. So yeah, keep moving. Keep moving. Don't be a sitting target. Yeah, Ian has driven the J7, nice and H van, but still agricultural. Just seen a 54 plate Rover CDTI Connoisseur automatic estate with just over 70,000 miles on the clock. Full service history on Facebook Marketplace for 2,000 quid. Yeah, a lot of them are priced really low by people who don't think they're worth anything. I fancy 2003 Ford Mercedes ECL class 200E. Most poverty spec possible. Yeah, that'll be like fabric seats, steel wheels with hubcaps, wind-up windows in the back. Flying Vitolette. Good evening from France. Hello. What part of France? Your video, the most Minolta 7000, promised you to go and buy a Dynex 800 SI. Now we got film photography. Oh, brilliant. Looking forward to getting the big kind of 500mm reflex lenses for it. Oh, the Minolta range in the 90s and late 80s was so good. Such sharp lenses too. I hope yours is working well, and I hope it's in great pictures. ECU, E-class, that makes a lot more sense. Thanks, Dan. What happened to my audio? Have my headphones gone flat by any chance? Because I'm using my in-ear headphones as microphones, and it's possible after 85 minutes the batteries have died. Yeah, no, the batteries have gone flat. I'll take them out for now. Okay, I'll wind this up in a minute or two, as we've now got headphones anymore. Yeah, that would mean hang on. Oh, if I cut this off, I'm sorry, I'm going to go into the things and turn Bluetooth off. Connected? We are still connected. Hooray! Let's crank the volume a bit more. Miss Hubnut's question: has everyone given the like button a hit? I don't know. They have. Come on, everyone, hit the like button. Hi, Matt. Love Rustville, thank you. We all loved it as well. Any thoughts on JDM, as in Japanese cars? I do like them an awful lot. There's a lot of fun K cars and sports cars and all kinds of cars, actually. And I went to the Japanese car show at Brands Hatch this summer as well. Really enjoyed that one too. Dream car, money, no object. I always say it's the Cord, and that is only about 40 grand though, so it's not a huge amount of money, no object. I don't have one dream car because there are just so many amazing cars of all kinds of value. I think my dream car would actually be like a warehouse that I could then tuck all kinds of things in, because there's not like a particular. I'd like a Ferrari Dino. I'd love a Ferrari Dino. But yeah. No, there's nothing really specific. There's just lots and lots of old cars that I would just love to go and fill a barn with, or a warehouse more accurately. What did I used to do for BMW? And I used to work on Performance BMW magazine and BMW Car magazine, not for BMW themselves. Japfest, that was it, yes. Oops. Am I considering moving? No, I've not really been thinking about moving. Not too far anyway. No, it was only because my son started school and they cancelled the buses. We've kind of got into a routine of driving to school every day now, which is a real pain. And also there were only 2 houses within walking distance we could find of the school that had enough parking. So we gave up on that idea. What classic car would I own to daily drive? Oh, good question. I mean, I used to daily drive my Rover P6 every day. I used to drive to Sheffield and back once a week, and that was brilliant. So I'll probably stick with the P6, because you know what you know, and you can always trust them. But if you want ultimate reliability, probably a big old Peugeot, like a 504 or something. It would never die. We've got a few people showing off the emojis there. Best T/snack shelf, Rover R8s or some Hondas. Hondas are very good for that kind of thing. Is the Rover 420 GSI painted yet? No, still no word. They said probably just after Christmas. I did say to them, can we have it for the NEC? Because I don't know if you went to the NEC, the Rover 200/400 Club were celebrating an anniversary of the R8, and they had one of every body style across those and the Tomcat stand, and they were going to have the 420 as the representation of the estate car. So I said to the painters, can we have it in time for the NEC? And we came back and it wasn't quite ready in time, and so they said, really sorry, but we reckon we'll have it just after Christmas, so I reckon Easter. 60 Diesels has got 3 of those Merc truck van things. Okay, I might have. I wonder if it does swap on the W123. Ideas are occurring. Okay. Seen a rare car today, a Volvo S80 V8. God, do you know, I borrowed one of them off Volvo for a review when they were current. Really good car. That was like a transverse V8, wasn't it? My first car was a Console Cortina because it was my dad's first car. I had the Rover P6 2000 from when I was 17, but I had a Mark II Escort very briefly before that. Oh, friend's yellow Mercedes W123, he has sold that one. He decided he was never going to get around to fixing it because it had a leaky sunroof and basically needed the roof replacing or welding a new panel in, and he decided it was going to be too much work, so he sold it on. Any classic cars I really don't like? Not really, no. Everything's got a better place. I mean, MGBs are a bit ubiquitous, and you can sort of knock them for that. Same with Triumph Stags, but they're actually quite good if you get a good one. And the problem with MX, with oh, see you later, Carly. Have a good evening. I'm going to wind up in a minute as well. But yeah, I used to sort of think Stags were just about overrated. Then I drove a really, really good Stag and thought, actually, this is really good. I think what you need to do is get into a really good example of something, and then you see what it's all about. God, Simon saw a red VXR8 in Burnley. Wow, they are very uncommon around here. My Merc was on 60 diesels last night and they haven't started yet. Okay, fair enough then. Hello, unusual content. Miss Hubnut. Where's the camera on this? Yeah. Always wanted to visit Bangers and Cash. It's Matthewson's up in Yorkshire, isn't it? Yeah. And apparently, on one of the recent episodes, someone's wearing one of my hats, but I've been scouring through it on catch up and I haven't found the episode yet. Am I going to the PC Resto show at the NEC next year? Probably going to go as a visitor. I don't think any plans for a stand, but yeah, almost certainly going to go as a visitor to that one. Am I up for any collaborations with Smashing Pistons and Project Nigel? Well, I went and paid Project Nigel a visit last year on the way up to the Motorist. Wasn't it the year before, wasn't it? And they're lots of fun, nice, very, very nice people. Smashing Pistons and also very friendly and fun as well. I haven't made any plans, but if anything came up, wouldn't say no. Always try and keep options open, and there's some very, very nice people in the YouTube and the car world. Neil, enjoyed the latest photography video, which was, as I just said a minute ago, about the Minolta 7000, the first autofocus SLR. Yeah, I'm trying to push it a little bit because it's only had about 300 views, which is really quite sad. Yeah, if anyone's into photography, then hit the link in the description for clickbait. I'm trying to push that channel to the point where people have heard of it and actually watch some of the videos. Don't see a lot of 105 Persian, no, you really don't. Right. As we've been on for an hour and a half now, sorry if people have joined us fairly late in the day. We've been on for an hour and a half and my microphone and headphones have in fact died. We're going to call it a night, wind it up and say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for the chat. Thank you for your comments and things. And yeah, if I don't speak to you all in another live chat beforehand, then have a lovely Christmas and a great New Year. I'm sure I'll try and do something in the meantime though. But yes, everyone stay safe, look after yourselves. And yes, we'll see you all soon, hopefully. And how do you hang this thing up? That button just there. Goodbye.